I've been in Singapore for a while and I have not filed US taxes. How can I catch up? You're not alone. Lots of people, it just kind of slips your mind. You get caught up in other things, you forget, whatever the situation may be. So as to how it is treated, it really depends on whether your non-compliance was willful, non-willful. So that concept of willfulness is not discussed in tax code. So we look at case law. And what the case law tells us is that if it is that you intentionally sought to avoid your responsibility, so essentially towards the side of tax evasion, so you intentionally avoided and evaded that known legal duty, then you may be on the side of this spectrum where you need to do some sort of voluntary disclosure. Now, there was an offshore voluntary disclosure program up to a few years ago, but it was discontinued under the Trump administration. So, there are ways of voluntarily disclosing your situation in the IRS manual that we work with attorneys to walk you through that process. If it is your non-compliance is deemed to be non-willful, so you didn't intentionally, just forgot, whatever, we can work with you under what is called the Streamlined compliance procedures. So that is typically what probably 90% of our clients use to go through their coming clean to the IRS. Now, it's important to understand the way the IRS works. Just like most tax authorities, even the one in Singapore, they prefer you come to them before they come to you. If it gets to the stage where they have to chase you, the conversation is not as pleasant as when you come to them first and say, hey, made a mistake, I didn't declare X, Y, and Z. Here are the prior year returns. Because in the US system anyway, under Streamlined, it's an amnesty in all but name. And you get to avoid the penalties, both civil and criminal. And the penalties can be pretty aggressive when you look at them. It could be $10,000 for each unreported entity that you've invested in. It could be up to 50% of the value of your bank account per year. So we saw a case of a resident of Florida that had a bank account outside. Actually, there was one with a bank account in Singapore as well. But I'm thinking about, I don't know what happened to that guy. He had one at, I think it's UBS in Singapore. There was another guy who had one in Switzerland. He had $1 million in an account, and the IRS deemed that he did not report it for 3 years. So they went after the maximum, which was 50% for each year. So they charged him $1.5 million as a penalty and an account with $1 million in it. So that's how aggressive they can be. So you always want to get to the IRS before they get to you. That's the point. And how do they get to you? Because of something called the Financial Accounts Tax Compliance Act, or FATCA. Every financial institution, every institution that's licensed by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, is legally obligated to conduct KYC exercises, know your customer exercises, to ascertain whether any of the account holders are US exposed. And even if you open your account with another passport, because many of us have more than one passport, right? And you did not declare, if it is that the financial institution suspects that you are US exposed, even if you deny it, they're legally required to report you all the same. So that creates checks and balances in the system. So the bottom line is, it just makes sense to come clean to the IRS before they find you. So with Streamlined, there's a look back period. So even though you may not have filed for like 10 years, the look back period is 3 years. So you just filed the last 3 years, so your due date has already passed, and the last 6 years for FBARs. And again, interest, but usually no penalties, and you're good to go. And of course, you write a statement and you promise to do the right thing going forward. If you want to discuss that further, please feel free to reach out to your US qualified tax advisor of choice, or you can email us, reach out to us at our offices, and we'd be happy to help you.
Please subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Our books and upcoming event are available at htj.tax. Email us at help@htj.tax. htj.tax to engage us, to advise on international tax or business matters.